ドジャースは日本時間14日、ナ・リーグ優勝決定戦第1戦の敵地、ブルワーズ戦を接戦で制し、白星発進しました。大谷翔平は1番 DH で先発し、2打数無安打3四球でした。2点リードの9回は佐々木朗希が登板して1点を失い1点差に迫られましたが、西一三塁でマウンドに上がった3番手トライネンが、最後は満塁の場面で4番チュラングを空振り三振に仕留め、逃げ切りました。試合後、ブルワーズのマーフィー監督は大谷への2度の敬遠について、難しい決断ではなかったと説明し、ベッツへの敬意を欠くものではなく、あの場面ではそれが最も理にかなっていたと振り返りました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Hey Dave, Alex Rodriguez here. Congrats on another great year. My question is about Sasaki. It seemed like he battled injuries most of the year. His velo was a little down. Now his velo's up. He looks great. When did you know, or how did you know he could be a closer for you?
You know what, Alex? Obviously, he started this season as a starter, was banged up, didn't perform well, velocity down, mechanics weren't right, and then we sort of put him on ice and try to get him healthy. And even, I know you guys can recall that outing after in Dodger Stadium where he was almost in tears because he was so disappointed. And then he goes on a rehab, gets healthy, dials in his mechanics, and then I think he had about 3 or 4 outings in the pen in AAA. And then it was one of those things that you're sort of looking at where you're at, the status, the state of our pen. And we just sort of put him in big spots. And I just trusted him. I felt like he was ready. And, you know, he made us all look good. And right now he's taken it and run with it and changed the landscape of our pen.
My brother, Big Papi right here. Congratulations on all your success. Hey, listen, you remember, I mean, we used to be teammates, and you know the importance of me and Manny showing up on the lineup and protect the rest of the squad, right? You know that 1-2 combo that you have, Ohtani and Freddie, the past series, they haven't been able to produce the way they normally do. What do you expect from them on this upcoming series?
I think expect big things, Papi. Obviously, those are our superstars, along with a couple other guys. But I think for me, it's just go out there and keep grinding, take good at-bats, take what the pitchers give you. And obviously with Shohei, they're not going to let him beat him. They'd rather take their chances with Mookie or Teo or Freddie. Just kind of use the whole field. But I expect Shohei and Freddie to have a big series. And we're going to need both those guys. And, you know, I trust them both.
Hey, I want the Dodgers to repeat. I'm rooting for you, man. Plus, I don't want to go back to Milwaukee to the Haunted Hotel. I'm afraid of ghosts, so help me out.
Hey, the fister is still going, and we had a couple guys that had to leave because they're afraid of them dang ghosts. But I'm on the good side. You know, when you're a manager, you get the good side, and so you superstars always got the sweet. So I got a sweet now, so I know what it's like to be on the good side of the fister.
Oh, you deserve it. You deserve it. It's amazing.
Yesterday you talked about Ohtani as a pitcher, but how are you going to neutralize Ohtani as a hitter? I mean, Phillies used a bunch of lefties, and you know he's struggling a little bit. So that's going to be the key for you guys.
Well, I think most people struggle against Sanchez, Luzardo, and Suarez. You know, those guys are really, really good, really good. So I don't consider Ohtani struggling. I don't. It's baseball. You know, you can go through 30 at bats or 50 at bats and not put up the same numbers and maybe be hitting the ball hard or whatever. But I don't have Ohtani struggling. But I want to throw lefties again and whenever we can. It's always harder for a lot of those lefties to face lefties that are throwing 95 and above and sinkers into them. So, I mean, the way you do it, right? Here's how you beat every great hitter. Babe Ruth, you pitch the same way. Hard in here as you can, right? And then it opens up over there sometimes. And do you double up in here or maybe not? Or do you open up breaking ball because he's looking for it in here? You know, it's a little cat and mouse thing. And that's what we'll do.
When you signed Roki Sasaki, did you ever think his role would be what it is right now in your bullpen?
No, to be quite honest. You know, this year for Roki, it obviously there's been ups and downs, and to his credit, as we got closer, he was like, hey, I just want to be able to help this team any way possible. And, you know, we all are well aware of the talent, and, you know, his not being healthy earlier in the year was evident, and as he came back and started to get stronger and make those adjustments, we start to see the big boy stuff that he's shown in the past. So it's been obviously incredibly helpful for our team, and we'll take it for now and run it out, and then next year we'll get him back starting games.
And one more for you. We had a little wager on our show where if I believe Shohei Ohtani's going to start game 2, Dan Plesac said he's not going to start game 2. And if Ohtani does not start game 2, Dan gets to open up a bottle of champagne and pour it on my head live on the air. I get to do it to Dan if Ohtani does start game 2. So I'm talking to the GM of the Dodgers so you can settle this. Who's going to start for the Dodgers game 2?
Oh, I feel like you guys need to sweat this out a little bit longer. So we'll talk about it more post game, and then hopefully we'll see some champagne being poured out at some point.
We want the champagne on Greg, Brandon, please.
I like that bet, though.
It's a good bet, right? And it'll be live on the air whenever you guys formally announce it. Okay, Brandon?
All right.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you for doing this.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Did you come out of the DS with any sort of concern level moving forward with Shohei offensively, given how he looked last series? And I know moving him back in the rotation is more about lining up guys on rest, but because he's not having to pitch one of these first 2 games, do you think that just helps that he can concentrate just on hitting here this week?
I think the biggest thing is the stuff that the Phillies threw at us obviously was really good, but even beyond that, I thought the execution was as good as it can possibly be. And so I think the combination of those things lining up, look, if a pitcher who has really good stuff executes at an A+ level, hitters aren't going to hit. Hitting is way too difficult. It's about hitting mistakes more than not, and they executed it on him at an elite rate. And so could some swing decisions help and potentially get a mistake? For sure. But I think it was the most impressive execution against a hitter I've ever seen.
Just wondered, what was your reaction last winter when you heard the team had signed Blake Snell, and what does he bring to the rotation?
サイ・ヤング賞を2度受賞している、投手と同じローテーション、同じチームメイトになれるというのはすごく、嬉しいことですし、実際にスネルから学ぶことはたくさん学ばせてもらっているので、チームにとってもすごく心強い存在ですし、僕にとっても、すごく、大きな存在だなと思ってます。
What does it say about the organization that you have had all this starting pitching and you wanted even more?
やっぱり厚みはすごく増したと思いますし、そうですね、全てにおいてすごく、大きな存在になっていると思います。
Two questions. First, just to follow up with the Blake Snell conversation, you've talked about, and he has, how valuable your relationship has been learning from him. So just what have you learned from Blake Snell?
試合後はやっぱり試合を振り返りながら、また新たなことを教えていただいたり、そうですね、調整段階というよりはやっぱり試合のことに関して、教えていただくことが多いですね。
Obviously, you faced Milwaukee earlier this season. Was not your best performance. I'm sure it was a forgettable outing for you. What adjustments or what did you learn from that outing that you hope to take into your start tomorrow?
前回はかなりうまくいかなかったですけど、今はまた違うピッチングができると思いますし、ミルウォーキーの打線はやっぱりつながりもありますし、いいところでホームランが出たり、本当にいい打線なのは間違いないですけど、何としても負けるわけにいかないので、とにかくチームが勝てるように、全力で投げたいと思います。
Why did you change your hair?
なんで本当にこんなところで話させていただく話では全くございませんけど、前回ちょっと明るめにしてたんで、なかなか病院行けるタイミングなく、かなり伸びて明るくなっちゃったんで、少し暗めにして、質問ありがとうございます。
Was changing your hair part of a response to the last start?
Your last what?
A response to your last start, sort of starting fresh after your last start.
前回の登板でちょっと残念な結果だったからその髪型変えたりしたんですか？
そういうわけではないですけど、また一つそういうね、いいこう流れの変わる機会になればいいかなとは思いますね。
What were you able to sort of take from that start against the Phillies, and is there anything that execution-wise you feel like you could do better this time around?
そんな大きく悪いところがあったわけではないんですけど、失点した回に、少しカウント悪くしたところから、甘いボールをホームラン打たれたり、その後もランナーなんていうんだろう、少しボールが甘くなって、そんな当たりがかなりいい打球ではなかったですけど、間を抜けていくような、ヒットが多かったので、ピッチングの基本的な、高さだったりコースだったり、そういった、基本の部分をしっかり大事にして、投げたいと思います。
でそもそも振ってこないという向こうがで、レッズ戦では対照的だったんですけども、こう質そのものがちょっと納得いかない、それとも相手のこう明確な意思を感じたのか、その部分と、それに対してどう対応すべきだったか、明日の対応、明日の先発を見据えてそこをお聞かせください。
相手の待ち方っていうのは一つあったとは思いますけど、どんな待ち方をしても、いいボール投げた時はやっぱり空振りが取れたり、できると思うので、前回の試合は、試合の中で、明らかにボールだったり、ちょっとボール球がこう、大きく外れたり、なんていうんだろう、細かい技術ですけどいろいろとこう気になるところあったので、それを試合の中でこう修正できなかったので、ここ1週間でしっかり練習しましたし、明日はこう自信を持って投げていけたらなと思います。
Go to the fourth row on the right side.
よろしくお願いします。レギュラーシーズンと違ってポストシーズンに入るとどうしても先発ピッチャーは継投がすごく早めになりがちですが、ドジャースの場合は結構長く投げてますが、短くてもいいというふうな考えでゲームの入り方、アプローチは変わりますか？
シーズン中から、初回から、1イニング1イニングっていうのは、自分の中でこう心がけていることで、初回からもちろんいつも全力で入りますし、ちょっと抜いて投げる回とかはないので、やることは変わらないかなと、思います。
Let's go to the far right in the top fifth row there.
よろしくお願いします。チャンピオンシップに進んでいるチーム2年連続で来ているのは今ドジャースだけですけれども、このメジャーに来てから2年連続でこのチャンピオンシップに挑める環境っていうのをどのように感じてますか？
本当に、すごくありがたいことだなと、思いますし、やっぱりチームメイトの戦いをこう見てても本当にすごいプレーが多かったですし、本当にこうチームメイトへの尊敬といいますか、本当にさすがだなと、感じました。自分もしっかりその一員として、しっかりチームの戦力になれるように、とにかくこうできることは何でもしたいなと思います。
Go to Nobu on the left side.
よろしくお願いします。レギュラーシーズンの投球を見てると、当然の結果だと思うんですけども、昨日監督がスネル投手と山本投手、2回このシリーズを見据えての一番第1試合第2試合っていう起用だという話したんですけども、それに対してその重圧であったり逆に自信があって当然であっていう自分の中での気持ち、そのチームへの期待からの期待っていうのをどういうふうに受け止めてますか？
こういった大事な試合で任せていただけるっていうのはやっぱりすごく光栄なことですし、そういう選手で、そういう選手になりたいっていうのはずっと思ってたので、すごく嬉しく思いますし、こういった任された試合でしっかり、いい結果が出るように、とにかく勝つことだけを目指して、投げたいと思います。
Time for one more if there is. Anyone else? All right, Yoshinobu, thank you for the time.
Ohtani's going to be intentionally walked, as you said, Frenchie. As soon as he stepped on the dirt circle, he was sent to first. Full count, and it is ball 4, and Mookie Betts draws a bases-loaded walk. The Dodgers are up 2-0. The presence of Ohtani pays off in ways like this all the time. We just saw it in Game 4 against the Phillies. on Thursday night.
Blake, congratulations. Watching you watch the ninth was tough. What were you thinking?
No, I trust them. I trust Roki, trust Blake. We just got to attack the zone better. A lot of walks there. They had one hit, so just got to get in the zone. But those guys, they're going to figure out they're really good.
I mean, you did whatever you wanted with all four of your pitches. Which was your favorite tonight, Blake?
I like a located fastball.
Yeah?
If I can locate the fastball, it sets everything else up.
The only base runner you allowed, you picked off, and I know you studied every single one of their tendencies. You're shaking your head, yes, on the bases. How did the preparation lead to the execution?
It pays off to know, what they're going to do when they're going to run, how they like their leads when they steal. So to be able to pick him and see it was pretty amazing.
Will, obviously how this game ended, it was a little stressful on the back end with the Brewers finding a way to make some traffic. But how you, Mark Pryor, how you guys were able just to settle the bullpen down, navigate through them. What were you seeing from those guys?
Yeah, I thought, Roki kind of fell behind. They got some good hits, a walk, whatever. Good swing from Bowers. He got 2 big outs for us. Those were 2 tough outs. We needed them. Never gave in. And then Blake, coming in, not giving to Contreras. I know he drew a walk. We got a base open there. And getting that last punch, it was huge.
What was the conversation before that last strikeout?
Yeah, it was just keeping him calm. It's just, being me. We got a great relationship. We've been in these stressful situations before. Just being there for him, keeping him confident, and getting the job done.
As much as the back end of this game, that story was the bullpen. This entire game, the story was Blake Snell, how he was able to get through 8 shutout innings. What made him so special tonight?
Yeah, that was dominant. That's as good as you see someone throw a game. It was impressive. Just glad he's on our side. But, he was just making pitches. He wasn't giving in. His changeup was really good tonight. His curveball punching guys away. He just kind of had them just really off balance and not knowing what's coming.
He talks about wanting to be in these big moments. Is there something that stands out to you about him that makes him so good in these games?
Yeah, I think he just sees the game so well. He slows it down. He knows exactly what he wants to do, and then he goes out and does it. And it's fun to be back there with him when he does that.
Well, congratulations on this win today.
Thank you.
I want to get into your night, but first I want to get into you on the top step on the front row. You're one of the watching players there in that 9th inning. What are you thinking as that 9th inning's unfolding?
Just trust, belief in the guys that are out there. I wasn't nervous. I knew they'd get the job done. They've been doing it all year, so just exciting. They get to learn, they get to grow from that moment. We got the win, so that's all that matters, and they'll be ready. They'll get better and better.
Blake, it's Al here. Unbelievably impressive. And I think I want to go to, yes, you have the great fastball. You have always had that curveball. But the most pitches you threw of your 103 was a changeup. Was that by design, based on a scouting report, or was it feel?
I think it was just understanding what their lineup was trying to do. I went into it. You always go into it. You have an idea of what you want to do. The changeup was there, but it wasn't on the forefront of what I wanted to do. But just watching swings, reading them, seeing what they're trying to cheat for, if they're out over the plate, how they set up on the plate. Like, they're just giving you so many tells, and you learn from it, and then you figure out how you want to attack them. And then you're looking for an adjustment. If they're going to adjust, then you adjust. But that's just what I felt was best today.
All right, I want to get into that. You have a couple Cy Youngs, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you're awesome.
Yeah, he's got a couple Cy Youngs.
Here's my point. What you just said, reading swings and watching as the feel of the game. When did you start doing that? Were you able to do that, say, the first couple years in the big leagues as you were a young pitcher with the Rays? How has that helped you to mature?
I've always been good at observing, watching, learning. I just didn't have command. I never really had command. Well, I would say I had command. I was just trying for the strikeout way too hard, and I only wanted to strike people out. I always felt like I have good command. I just would walk people. Now, I love he walks people. I mean, I don't care if I walk people. I care about good pitches, having leverage in the at-bat, and if I don't have it, sometimes I give in, sometimes I don't. Depends on the hitter, but I'm going to pitch my game. And if that means 4 walks, then it's 4 walks. But the goal is don't give up runs. So they can say wild pitcher, whatever, but the goal is 0 runs. If you can do that, I don't care how many people I walk. It doesn't matter.
Blake, it's Alex here. Well, I mean, you haven't really been walking guys. Today you didn't have any walks. And I know, when you were in San Diego, what you were just talking about, you didn't care, if you walk guys, you were going to pitch your game. But obviously throughout this year, your command has gotten much better. Just kind of walk me through, like, as far as, like, what did you start feeling that confidence to where, like, you can be more of a complete pitcher and not have to, and work with command, use all 3 pitches effectively and not be walking guys like you were earlier in your career?
Yeah, I think just, you play the game as a game. You just mature. You understand. You have belief, confidence. You've kind of seen everything play out before, so you don't get nervous or worried anymore or as much. You still might have it a little bit, but, I mean, it's just really the belief of everything. And then you just start getting in the zone more and more. And then you realize contact's good, and you just kind of evolve.
8 scoreless, faced the minimum through 8 innings, and finished with 17 in a row retired. Locked in. What a way to set the tone. Blake Snell, thanks for the time. Congrats on a great night tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Murph, on that double play to end the 4th inning, have you ever seen anything like that before? And what was your view of it from the dugout?
Yeah, just what happened. Sal caught it, then it touched the wall. Base runner got confused. And we got it in as quickly as possible, made the play at the plate, and then heads up, William got the out at 3rd. So, yeah, I mean, it's very unusual, and it's tough for the base runner to figure out what happened. But it's one of those plays in baseball. We got very fortunate there. But great defense on our guy's part for Sal and Contreras to be that heads up, Joey make the throw. Yeah, that was big. We got another big double play after that, after we walked Ohtani. Yeah, it was pretty special. Defensive night and a night, I mean, to hold the Dodgers down 2 runs and a leadoff walk, and, it's a different game.
You made the decision to intentionally walk Shohei twice, even though the numbers show that he's really scuffling. Is that a situation where he's just so good that he can bust out of it at any time, and he's the guy you don't want? You decided coming into the series, that's the guy that's not going to beat you?
It wasn't as hard a decision as you think, because when a bag's open and you can turn it into a double play situation, you got a right-hander on the mound, you kind of have to go for that. And Shohei is at least dangerous enough, struggling or not, he's dangerous enough to hit a fly ball, and you can't give up the run there. With the way we were swinging against Snell, you couldn't give up a run. So I don't think those were huge risky decisions. The numbers didn't matter to me. I told you guys the first day here, I think Mookie Betts is one of the best players in baseball for a lot of reasons. But it was no disrespect to him. It was just the right thing to do with a right-hander on the mound and Shohei coming up with his ability to strike the ball so hard and put it in the outfield.
Maybe one for each of you. Freddie, you've been fortunate to play in so many postseason games. If this wasn't the most dominating pitching performance, what was?
I mean, I can't think of one off the top of my head that was just so good from the start. Sometimes it'll take an inning or 2 for someone to settle in, and it was from the get-go. Just what he can do with the changeup against right-handed hitters, I think that's from 82 to 88. You can throttle it whenever he wants. It's not just one pitch. He's throwing it. It's like 3 different pitches when you throw at 3 different speeds for hitters. And then when you think you're going to sit on something, here comes 96, 97. It was a masterpiece tonight.
Yeah, Blake, before the game, Andrew was kind of talking about the conversations you were having early on in free agency about what it meant to be in October and how that was kind of what was driving you at this point in your career. Like, how much do you kind of remember about those talks with Andrew early on this offseason, and what did you kind of express to him at that time?
Yeah, no, it's clear as day. Yeah, I remember saying Freddie, Mookie, Shohei in that lineup. I can't wait to pitch. That was really the start of it, but just seeing what they're able to do and wanting to be a part of it and knowing how important postseason is to them, and that's just something that I wanted to be a part of. Even playing against them, watching, it was just always in the back of my mind, like I want to be a Dodger and play on that team. And to be here now it's a dream come true. I couldn't wish for anything more. And yeah, I'm just going to do the best I can to help us win a World Series.
Freddie, you have about 25 ABs against Blake in your career. You kind of touched on a little bit. What is an at-bat like against Blake, especially left on left?
I think I talk about gray hair a lot. That's where some of them come. When you face guys like him and Jacob deGrom and those kind of pitchers, when the minute you wake up, it's going to be a battle that night. And when you face a power pitcher that can locate 3+ pitches, you know it's going to be tough. And that's the thing. It's like, just like you mentioned earlier, it's how he pitched tonight is not probably going to how he pitches the next time. And so it's hard to scout. It's hard to feel good against someone. You might have success in one game and it'll be completely thrown out the door and you're going to strike out 3 times. And I've done it, you know, and it's just, he knows what he's doing on the mound. I am so happy that we are sitting next to each other now and doing press conferences together and not having to be apart and walking by each other and talking about how he beat us again, because he did it a lot, and he's amazing. There's a reason he's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. He's on the biggest stage now, and he's just doing what he's always done.
Hey, Freddie, so Pat Murphy joked about the fact that you've been a Brewer killer for a while. He wishes you would oversleep tomorrow. I know that there's not much stock that you can take in who you play or where you play, because you know it's not fully just about the ballpark, or it's usually just the moment and it changes. But what is it about, whether it be playing here or playing that team, that gets you up maybe a little more?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've played a long time and faced these guys a lot, and there is no rhyme or reason to it. It could literally be, I just feel good about my swing during the course of the regular season and those 3 to 4 days that we play the Brewers. And sometimes as a hitter, when you feel good, it doesn't really matter who you're facing. And then sometimes when you're feeling bad, it doesn't matter who's on the mound, you got no chance. And I don't know what it is, or I'm not going to try and find a reason for it, but you know, I like environments where it's not 25 degrees outside and your hands are cold, and I always seem to like enclosed stadiums. But there's no, I can't give you a reason, but Murph and I are very close, and I don't think I'm going to oversleep tomorrow.
One more question about Roki Sasaki, who was known as the monster of the Reiwa era. He came in and he was really stamping that claim. He had a perfect 3 perfect innings in Game 4 clincher against the Phillies, 5 1/3 innings, no walks. He gets shelled a little bit, gets shell-shocked a little bit. They have to bring in Blake Trinan. Do you have any concerns going forward about Roki, or do they instill confidence in the locker room and get him back out there in Game 2?
No concern at all. Plus the situation. You come in with runners on, it's a little different. If you come in with a clean inning, which is similar to what he used to do as a starter, that makes things a little bit easier. Now, every situation is not going to be a clean inning, but when you are in that situation, that can build the confidence back up. And give credit to Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. Again, flipping, coming back. And now whenever the opportunity comes up in any of these remaining games, you got to run him back out there. You got to get his confidence back up soon.
In fact, Dave Roberts just spoke to the media about Sasaki and Trinan. Let's take a listen.
You know, I don't know. He had 3 days off. Everything I heard, he felt great, and there were some near misses. But, you know, you walk 3 guys, and so he was just off a little bit. But I thought the stuff was still good, but just missing. And I don't know, you know, if there was carryover from the 3 innings. Just kind of betting on, you know, how he's saying he feels, and the coaches and training staff. And, you know, with the 3 days off, I felt good with him.
And with Blake, obviously, you've seen a lot of good postseason pitching performances, but what do you think of, where do you think Blake Snell's outing ranks among those tonight?
This was as good as I can remember in the postseason, against a very you know, gritty team. Puts the ball in play. The changeup was the pitch of the night. His command was great, and yeah, you're not going to see too many performances like that. Certainly in the postseason, this was pretty special.
Pedro, any final thoughts on Sasaki?
I think he's going to be fine. I think the fact that he had to wait 3 days, you know, this is not a usual game for him. But I think he's going to be fine. I wouldn't worry at all about Sasaki. He's going to be okay. I think he needed to feel the ball a little bit more. Plus, this is probably the you know, the tightest game he ever played.
Right.
And I think it's going to be okay. And plus, relievers are thought to have a very short memory. So he's going to be right back out, and he's going to be just fine. Probably even better with the feel of the ball.